What's going on, everybody, and welcome to Clint's Hot Props. We are talking Noche UFC, and we're going to take a look at some of our favorite prop bets on the board that maybe we can take advantage of and win some money at UFC Noche this weekend. The show is powered by CloudBet. You guys, make sure you're using the link in the description below. Use promo code DieHardMMA to sign up. There is a $2,500 welcome rollout option for you guys if you want to take advantage of that. And also, CloudBet is giving away 2 tickets to PFL in Abu Dhabi. You got to get yourself there, but if you win that grand prize, you're going VIP in that cage. You're going to go to the after party with Paul Hughes. You're going to get signed merch, including Paul Hughes signed gloves. I mean, it is a massive giveaway. So get signed up, use this platform, win that giveaway, and then sit in the front row with a Die Hard MMA shirt on. But let's go ahead and get into it, you guys. Props are fun on this card, frankly. Elise Pereira in the opening curtain jerker here. I'm sorry, it's the second fight of the night. That's my mistake. I actually think we got to take a look at her by knockout. Just a little bit, right? Like women's MMA that's not usually something you want to be doing. You don't really want to be relying on finishes and knockout props and things like that. Plus 401 looking at CloudBet MMA for her to win by KO. I know all of her regional stuff was by KO, and typically I don't like fighters when they make their UFC debut to keep on KOing people, and especially women's MMA, you don't expect them to have that kind of finishing power and ability. Man, I'm talking myself out of it as I'm saying. But Montserrat Rendon is somebody who absolutely is just kind of there to be hit. So I know she's tough. I know she's durable. She's tough as an old leather boot. She's just going to keep pushing. I get that. But when you've got someone who is smaller, who is quicker, who is faster, and who's someone who hits like a truck, if they're just able to pick and poke at you and you can't do anything about it, like Rendon better be able to get the grappling going, because if she can't, she's going to be in trouble on the feet. And at 4-1, I don't mind taking a flyer on this knockout prop. The next one I want to talk to you about is one you guys are going to mock me relentlessly for, but it is what it is. Cedric Dumas by KO plus 573 over on CloudBet MMA. Guys, Zach Reese has no durability. Zach Reese is a chinny fighter. Zach Reese is a guy who fishes for arm bars from his back, trying to win the fight that way. That is not how you win in men's MMA in the year of our Lord 2025. He goes life and death in round one, and Cedric Dumas, we haven't seen it for a while, but he's a pretty good kickboxer. He's got that big time left kick. There's going to be openings. There's going to be opportunities. Of the two of these guys, I trust the durability of Cedric Dumas more. I know that sounds insane, but it's true. And if they're going to bang it out early, I think Cedric Dumas is the one who walks out of that cage. So give me the sprinkle on Dumas at that absolutely crazy number. Next up, Luis Garuli and Jesus Aguilar. I talked about this on the Total Takedown, you guys. I think this is an extremely binary fight. Luis Garuli by decision is plus 143 on CloudBet. And then you've got Jesus Aguilar, and he is going to jump Gilly, and if he's going to hit that thing, you can get plus 625 over on CloudBet. Make sure you're signing up using promo code DieHardMMA, by the way. But I think that's the way you look at it, right? You're getting a little bit better than even money. You're getting a little plus money, looking for the decision prop, which I think is the most likely outcome with Luis Garuli. But if he doesn't get the win, it's because he got choked out. So you might as well throw a sprinkle on the sub prop, and I think one of the two of those is going to be hitting. The next one that I want to talk to you guys about, we absolutely have to, Jose Medina, round 3. I think Jose Medina is a beautiful live bet this week, right? We see if he's able to hang with Dusko Todorovic. If he's able to hang with Dusko Todorovic, then you jump in live, right? But we got to see it with our eyes first. Now, if you're going in pre-flop, if you don't have the ability to live bet, Medina's gonna have to win this fight late, right? So maybe I'm giving him too much credit. Maybe it's a decision and you want to look at that, and that's plus 683 on CloudBet. But I would take a flyer on the round 3 because, frankly, I think Dusko is dust. I think Dusko is Dusko. I really think this guy is completely shot at this point, and I've got a hard time seeing him win any kind of fight whatsoever in this day and age. So if Medina comes and actually starts throwing hands, round 3 is 36 to 1, you guys. 36.9 to 1. So I guess that's dang near 37 to 1. That's an insane number, fading a fighter who is way past their prime, absolutely shop worn, and frankly in trouble. So I think that's a flyer you might want to consider if you're going to degen out a little bit here this week. The next prop, back to the more realistic realm here, is Alexander Hernandez by decision. Now, I worry a little bit here about this one because I kind of lean the other way towards Carlos Diego Ferreira. But if this 2.0 version of Alexander Hernandez really is what he says he is, if he really has turned a corner, if he really is locked in now and he's a new man, then he probably goes out and finds a way to win this fight. But I don't think it's going to be by finish. We just saw him get a massive knockout over a huge fan favorite, and I think that's giving us some value here on these numbers. You can get plus 307 for Alexander Hernandez by decision in this spot, and that's how he's won all of his other fights. He's lost a bunch of splits too, so don't count out the fact that he could lose a split decision here in this fight the way this guy has been battling it out recently. But I don't expect some big flashy finish here in this spot. I think he goes back to the wrestling, relies on that, and this thing goes the full 15 minutes. So Alexander Hernandez by decision at a 3-1 clip. We haven't seen that number in a while. I think that's tasty, man. Kelvin Gastelum by decision, I think, is a prop that we need to look at as well. I don't think he's going to be finishing a guy that's as tough as Dustin Stolfus is. I think we're going to have a lot of grappling involved here. Dustin will try to get this to the ground, and maybe they bang it out on the feet a little bit, but Kelvin Gastelum doesn't really finish people with his hands anymore. So Gastelum by decision, as boring as it sounds, is plus 147, and I think that's something that you might want to look at instead of laying the parlay juice if you want to buy that down just a little bit. And it's kind of a similar story with Jared Gordon by decision. I've got Jared Gordon in a parlay already, so I'm set to go there. But Gordon by decision, if you want to just play it straight, it's like minus 150-ish. You got to lay a little bit of chalk on it, and I understand you're still laying chalk even buying down. But Rafa Garcia is just so tough. I don't know that he's going to be able to get the knockout in this spot. Gordon has looked phenomenal with his hands recently. He's done a very, very good job of hurting people to the body, and we've seen him get real smooth with that. But I think the wrestling pace and pressure of Rafa is going to make sure this fight stays at kind of a grappler's pace. And if that's the case, we're going the full 15 minutes and nobody's getting finished. The next prop that I've got on my card that I want to talk about is the main event, and it's boring. But it's Gene Silva by knockout, you guys. Plus 101. You're getting even money, just ever so slight plus money on that on Cloudbet. I'm seeing minus 110s pretty much everywhere else. I've talked about this all week. My read on this fight is that Diego Lopes, as much as I love the guy, is hittable. He's going to leave his head out there to be cracked, right? And I know Gene's got that nasty submission game on him. I know he's got that real tight squeeze, but I don't know that he's going to be able to finish a guy like Diego Lopes with a submission when we've seen that guy in the deepest knee bar of all time, and he just refuses to tap. So I really believe that we're going to end up seeing this thing go the way of KO. I like Gene Silva by knockout. I'm going to say round 2. I think Lopes goes out there and has a war with him early in this fight, but then it starts to get away from him a little bit. He starts to get hurt and cracked, and then we get a big finish from Gene Silva towards the end of the second round. That's Clint Hot Props, everybody. Make sure you're signing up using promo code DIEHARDMMA on Cloudbet. We'll see you tomorrow for the undefeated post-weigh-in show. Let's roll.